Alright, where are we standing here?
They might be the worst team.
Alright. You're good. Hold on, let me... What? No, it's cool. I just need... Let me bump it up.
Brock. I love you. We're getting
Alright, we're good.
We're here. We need to turn it up. All right, guys, we're starting.
Hey,
Dave Costin. Sure action.
Just call it. It's on you.
Dave Costin, action.
It's on you, Sleepy Tom.
Action's on you, Dave.
Great. I'm all in.
I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. And just know that we love everybody here and not to take anything we say to heart.
It's like the learning.
So, but I'm going to start by saying Amanda couldn't make it tonight. There's a big shocker. She's been on a leave of absence her entire life. It all started during sex education class. Seriously, Gerber's got stuck in that shit over this. Jason Berger couldn't make it tonight either. He had to go grocery shopping. He had to pick up cookies, milk, and chloroform. I asked Jason what his biggest fear in life was. He told me, Chris Hansen. Doug Price used to come to work as a supervisor at Wheeling Island every day like it was his second chance to go to prom. Too bad he never bettered it. He still just stood in the corner and yelled at people. Ashley came here tonight. Ever since I met Ashley over, she's had 3 boyfriends. That's it. And they all could have took first, second, and third in a pageant if Summer's Eve sponsored it. Brock Price just got here. He's one of the best cornhole players I've ever seen, ever. Too bad it's the only hole he's truly ever beaten up. Sleeping with Brock Price is a lot like those fancy prescription drug ads. They sound all great at first, then you get all the side effects. Vomiting, severe gonorrhea.
I got that carried.
Jonathan McCarty was going to be here tonight. I asked him, I was like, how do you stay so skinny? He said, I've been eating nothing but pussy. I told him, starving yourself isn't healthy. George Garner is such a die-hard Batman fan that he made sure his wife had twins just so he could have his own Batcave.
I didn't have one though.
I'm just glad you cut that ponytail. It looked like Paul Mitchell and Steven Skull got drunk, fucked, and the condom broke. George aspires to be a lot of things. He's an aspiring magician, aspiring comedian. He just needs to aspire to be talented. And the man we came here to make fun of tonight and hang out with us since he doesn't work with us anymore.
I never worked with
anybody. I was talking to Cliff and he said, what happened to my marriage? And at first I felt really, really bad for him. Until I realized he lost it over his left tit.
It happened.
I saw Cliff dancing in the cha-cha slide one time. And on the very, very first stomp to the left, everybody else on the dance floor looked like the timer ran out on a game of concentration. They roasted Charlie Sheen last night, and I watched it, and I realized how much these two had in common. They're both jobless. Marriages are over. Charlie thinks he's a rock star from another planet. Cliff's the size of one. There's no amount of money Cliff would play just to get blown.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming to. Cliff didn't think this was going to happen, and he thought it was a pipe dream, and I said we do it, and we're here, and it's not the first time he called somebody's bluff that wasn't bluffing. I don't want anybody to be, afraid somebody's going to be offended. I have good news, even though Joy's not here. She did give me permission to make fun of her spina bifida, so we're going to be all right. The first time I met Joy, I didn't know she had spina bifida. I just always thought she was drunk. I used to imagine having sex with Joy, how good it would be, but I'd be so afraid of breaking one of her bones. And I thought, how would you even be able to tell? I used to think, I thought she had MS, and she said it's not MS, it's spina bifida, to which I said, we're really just splitting hairs here. Muscular sclerosis, muscular dystrophy, spina bifida, they're all words that mean you're a cripple.
Hey, I'll see it here, dude. Not she couldn't make it tonight,
Joy's her only real handicap, though, is Ryan. He is a Spencer Pratt-looking motherfucker. I mean, he spends more time playing at Wheeling Island than he does working at the Meadows and doesn't make very much money at either one. We all love Joy, and speaking of loving women that look like 9-year-old girls, Burger didn't make it tonight. I don't want to say that Burger is a pedophile, but he's the only guy I know that jerks off the door of the Explorer. Watches 4 hours of Toddlers and Tiaras every night. I mean, I've got $100 right now that says he meets Chris Hansen someday, and I'll give off. Because odds are he's in prison within the year. I mean, Burger's dream car is an ice cream truck, and his favorite flavor of ice cream is chloroform. I mean, if the authorities got a hold of Burger's computer right now, they put him in prison for life, just on the Dice game video alone. And speaking of inappropriate content on computers, BJ couldn't make it tonight. The internet porn industry is the fastest growing industry in the world, thanks to BJ. BJ has the ultimate dream girl, one with a job that lets him stay at home. I mean, he has it made. I don't want to say that his wife wears the pants in the family because there aren't any. He's always naked. But
That's a fact.
yeah, that is a fact. She is the boss. I mean, he's more whipped than Jim from Huckleberry Finn.
That's also
And while we're talking about fat, hairy white men, Emily couldn't make it tonight either. Emily fucked more guys than Pocket Jack. It's apparently the only exercise she gets because the only thing she's spread more than her legs is a pat of butter. She's been drilled more than oil. Emily is more annoying to men than an NFL lockout. Emily, you're like Taco Bell. You're every drunk guy's last resort at 2 a.m. and he has less than $4 to spend. They wake up the same way with diarrhea and the taste of old ground up meat in their mouth. Emily is a lot like my wife, though. She hasn't given birth to twin boys, but she has had 2 guys inside her at the same time.
Go ahead.
What bothers me most about Emily is her unearned arrogance. She has like Phil Hellmuth's attitude with Cliff Rector's bankroll. Emily's not the only slut that was supposed to be here. Brock is here. Brock has been in more women than Tampax, and he's more irritating to them than Toxic Shock. He's seen more pussy than a gynecologist and dealt with just as many STDs.
There's a film for that.
It's a good thing you never went to the Army. You would have found a discharge there, too. Brock does have a new, beautiful baby girl, but I don't know what all the fuss is about. His other 10 illegitimate children are cute, too. Brock made the rest of the guys at Jamboree in the Hill look classy. I mean, even they were like, settle down, Brock, you know, use some moderation. This is a guy who tried to go pro in cornhole. You couldn't be any more white trash with a Confederate flag tattooed on your forehead. He just went spit take. Brock brought his Uncle Doug with him. Let me give you some background on Doug. Doug's dedicated a large portion of his life to the game of basketball, listens to Dr. Dre, drives a Chrysler 300, which is like the most gangster car you can have, and he likes to go by the name Fresh. Doug, you are not black. Jesus Christ, no one has wanted to change your race more since Michael Jackson himself. You are a 45-year-old NASCAR fan that listens to rap. You're more fucked up than the duck-billed platypus. You're the oldest guy here trying to act like the youngest. Doug was also on the dance team. I don't even have a joke for that. And Doug talked Ashley into coming, even though she wasn't invited.
Yeah.
The truth is, we all organized this just to get an award in Edgewise over you, Ashley. Does everyone here know Ashley? Clap if you know Ashley. All that applause you just heard were people who tried to sleep with Ashley and were unsuccessful. Men and women. I mean, she is fucking peas. I mean, your first impression of Ashley is that she's easier than a hooker on rent day. But the truth is, she's only had sex 7 times ever, and 5 were with herself.
And they were better than the other 2.
She's not the only one that wasn't invited and came anyway. Red-haired Dave's here. He's kind of like the celebrity in the poker room. He's probably the best player at Wheeling Island, but that's about like saying you're the prettiest girl that Brock's fucked lately. It's real ugly either way.
That was on you, I think.
You're good. I'm on my dinner.
He brought his boyfriend Mark with him, and Mark is kind of like Dave's understudy. If Dave is sick or can't make it, Mark can come and lose $400 in place of him. Unless Tim Bishop's there to dunk off the usual $1,000. Dave, I don't know why all the dealers like you so much. The only red bird you've ever thrown was at a pig on your iPhone. Megan Nichols is here. Megan Nichols has grabbed more cock than KFC. The only guy she hasn't tried to fuck at the island is her husband. Brian's here. Let me give you some background on Brian. He used to be a guard with us, but he failed at a career of standing still. Those two swing more than 3rd graders on recess, by the way.
Preschool, at least preschool.
Jesse Kress is in here. Oh, man. Jesse Kress couldn't make it. I'm still going to talk about him. I mean, he's really hard to roast because I've worked with Jesse for 4 years. We all have. And we don't know anything about him other than he likes to do a little magic. It's not because he's mysterious. It's just because he's boring. I mean, here's a magic trick, Jesse. Make a personality appear. Mike Bonner's not here either. I had Mike Bonner. Okay. I was going to say I was just glad we could drag Mike Bonner out of his mom's basement long enough to join us, but apparently between Bonner, Cliff, Doug, we'd have more guys here that still live with their mom than my son's sister. If Bonner's another guy that has it made. He can golf whenever he wants, play video games, watch as much sports as he wants, doesn't have anyone to answer to. It's almost a fair trade for never having touched a boob in his life. Speaking of boobs that never get touched anymore, Janelle's here. When I first met Janelle, she was massaging some nasty guy for $2 a minute. The only difference now is she has to do it for free. They're expecting another baby. Janelle will now have more pregnancies than she's had orgasms. There's Wes. Wes's main hobby, as everybody knows, is frisbee golf, and that's what you play when you don't have a friend to throw the frisbee back. Wes, you are uglier than your own mole. I mean, how unlucky do you have to be to have this giant, disgusting mole on the back of your head and be bald? Your entire head looks like a pasty white tip with a hairy nipple on the back of it. I mean, Cliff almost ate that thing the other day. He thought it was an M&M. Speaking of chocolate in a hard shell, Kara couldn't make it tonight. We're still going to talk about her, though. Kara, you backstabbing bitch. Do I have to go further? You're more two-faced than conjoined twins. What company letter are you trying to climb? You're trying to see the view from on top of a pile of shit. You've schemed more people than Bernie Madoff to get no further than a three-legged dog at her track. Here's a Green Path idea. Save paper on memos. Just tell Kara first. It'll get around quicker that way. And Kara's man is Kevin. I guess he's not here either, but we'll talk about him. He's the guy that looks like me if I had AIDS. Kevin spends more hours playing internet poker than BJ spends viewing internet porn. Kevin's a lot like Kroger groceries. He's cheap, rotten, and comes in a big brown bag.
That's just messed.
Yeah, okay. Anyway.
That was messed up.
Another short guy, Gary's here. Gary, you little leprechaun motherfucker. We tease Gary all the time because he likes to EO for every reason in the book. The other day he EO'd because someone stole his Lucky Charms. He just looks like he has more ink on him than a big pen, but really it's a small canvas. And you lose all street cred from your tattoos with a name like Tink. That's his real name. I mean, he goes by Tink. I mean, you are such a furry. The only reason you wanted to be a leprechaun is because you can put your pot of gold at the end of a rainbow. I know, they can't all be winners, guys. All right, Jonathan McCarthy was supposed to be here. He's not here, but if he was, this is what I'd say. The plate of chicken wings that Cliff ate for breakfast this morning has more meat on them than Jonathan. He wears a size 2 petite pants. He looks like olive oil, only he's more like extra virgin olive oil. He's more sexually frustrated than a guy with no arms watching porn. Jonathan hasn't touched a chicken breast in a year, let alone a real breast. He doesn't fuck, he doesn't eat, he has less reasons to live than Cliff. Another guy that couldn't be here is Mike Zorn. Mike Zorn has to be the chubbiest gym owner in the country. The only squat he's ever done was giving Cliff a Cleveland steamer. That means he pooped on his chest. Zorn owning a gym is like Amy Winehouse owning a rehab facility. Zorn's eating more power bars than Lance Armstrong, but at least Lance Armstrong still has a ball left. All right, before I get to Cliff, I just want to say it's been a tough month for Wheeling Island. I mean, we lost Cliff, we lost Doug, even worse, we kept Denise. For those of you who don't know Denise, her house burned down real recently. I mean, even God thinks she's a bitch. A lot of people say that she's a lazy, micromanaging boss with a bad attitude and a dykey hairstyle. We're here to talk about Cliff. All right, Cliff Rector, ladies and gentlemen. No, I got to roast you.
All right. You thought he was done. Just getting started.
This is the roast of everyone but Cliff. Cliff Rector, class of 95, graduated in 96.
Woo!
How'd you get on mattress?
George, check the camera beeping. Like, did the camera stop?
If it stopped, it stopped. No, we're going. We're good. Oh, yeah, good. I do have my keys. I'm not busy or anything.
I know.
Please,
You guys ready for beer? All right, now Ashley.
Wow.
The red
All right.
cooler.
Cliff.
There's a lot. There's no intermission to this show.
What do you need? It says John on the side? Sorry, George.
No, it's fine.
Never mind, George. I'll just use hers.
Yeah, that's
All right, Cliff is unemployed, recently divorced, lives with his mom. Do you do anything well other than eat? Really? I mean, it would be real easy to make a lot of fat jokes, and that's why I have so many of them. You're like a manatee with legs. Your belly button isn't an Audi. Your beer gut just has its own beer gut. Jumping off of you would hurt more than jumping off an actual cliff. You have bigger boobs than Amanda Lockhart. These yours are perkier than. I mean, Cliff took the layoff hard, and now his cholesterol is higher than his monthly income.
No, you got that unemployment.
Cliff's plan is to go pro in poker. You have the worst money management skills I've ever seen. It'd be like Brock trying to run a bar. or you trying to run a bakery. Cliff's plan is to go from 0 to 100K in 1 year, and I hope he does, because I'd love to see you get even.
Hell yeah.
Now, a lot of people think that Cliff quit from Wheeling Island, and that's not true. Cliff doesn't know the meaning of the word quit. He doesn't know the meaning of a lot of words. Like shower, inside voice, savings account, vows, full greens, work ethic. Please stop raping me, I'm a guy. Cliff has given more head to BJ than a quickly poured glass of beer. No, Cliff got fired from Wheeling Island. His biggest accomplishment at work was yelling for chips really loudly.
Yep. Yep. Able 2. Able 3.
Cliff's also into karaoke. He got into karaoke because he thought it was a Japanese word for buffet.
I was discouraged, but yes. Right.
You have got to stop singing. You're 6 feet tall, 300 pounds. The world does not need another meatloaf. Now, I can't make any STD jokes about Cliff because he hasn't had sex in 4 years. I mean, consensual with a woman. The closest he's been to pussy since I've known him is Diane Stewart's ankle tattoo. You're a genetic anomaly. It looks like your parents were siblings. I mean, you have the biggest head, the fattest gut, the hugest ass, with a tiny dick. I mean, how does that happen? He only has one kid because he only had one sperm.
That's true.
Cliff can change a person's political views. Cliff's mom is now pro-choice after having Cliff. No, but I don't know what we do without you, man. The truth is, we're roasting Cliff for the same reason they roasted Charlie Sheen, to make sure he doesn't fucking kill himself. We miss you at work, Cliff. Wheeling Island is an even shittier place without you. Very, very hard to do. Thanks for being a good sport tonight, man. Good luck.
I want to help out, but thank you. You don't need the microphone.
Yeah, probably not. But those two guys are definitely funnier than I'm going to be because, well, fuck this microphone. I just wrote shit down today because I just thought this shit probably isn't going to happen. It's probably going to end up being like 3 dudes drinking beer. Which would have been cool with me, too. This is pretty sweet. So I feel a little bit of pressure, but it's going to be all right. I didn't write this stuff about everybody because I really didn't think anybody would show up. I wrote some stuff, whatever.
You can write?
I know I'm on to help me. But I do think that I should have went first, Wes should have been second, and George should have been last because that's just the way I think it should have went. But I'll start with Emily. She isn't here. Whatever. What a bitch. That's not a joke. That's just a true statement. All right, then I'll move on to Denise. Seriously. Yes. She's the only lady I know who takes chewing gum seriously, but laughs when her house burns down. Gary Boyette, the only person I know willing to come into work 3 hours early to sign an early out sheet to get out early. Makes no sense. BJ, my best friend in the world, BJ, we've been best friends since 3rd grade. He wasn't able to come tonight. He got drunk and passed out. That guy consumes more alcohol in 1 day than most people do in 3 years. I swear to God. Dude's an alcoholic. Ashley, I seen you on Facebook. I knew you was coming. I thought you was coming. So I came up with an enormous list of jokes for you. This list is actually bigger than your ass. But we don't have enough time for that, so we'll just move on. Mike Z, my buddy. We've been buddies since poker school. He was going to come out, but Fairfield Inn, or whatever the hell this place is called, they couldn't accommodate his big-ass head to come through the door. He couldn't show up either. Now, somebody I knew wasn't going to come, but Brett Duhamel. I've never seen someone sweat so much doing less than Brett Duhamel. That motherfucker is a heart attack waiting to happen. Amanda Winters, or whatever the hell her last name is now, I don't even know. We were co-workers for 4 years, ever since I started working there. We worked the same shift for 3 years. I've seen that girl more times in the Brad Paisley video than I've seen her at work. My mom, who ended up coming tonight, she was always a cool mom to have. Not only could she outdrink everyone, all my friends, but she would also kick all their asses. Dusty Longwell. He couldn't be here tonight. I love Dusty. But he has got to be by far the worst poker player I've ever seen. That guy, for someone who takes poker seriously, he has the worst. He is less aware of his table moves than anybody that I've ever seen. He never has a plan for the hand, and he always wants to bluff the calling station. Good hand, nice. Well played, Dusty. You fucking clown. Burgonator. Burger, what can I say? This guy is a very strange dude. He's either murdered or molested someone. He might have done both. We're getting down to the end. Actually, this is the last one, really. George.
Oh, dear.
He planned this whole roast. He goes through and writes all this material on people. I mean, he's methodical about it. I mean, you guys seen how long he was up here? And then he tells everybody what the hell he's written. What the hell, George? You want this to be a rerun, buddy? What the fuck? All right. When I first met George, I thought to myself, okay, this dude definitely sucks dick. I mean, he's a former hairdresser. And he comes off kind of gay. Right? But after really getting to know George, I realized that not only will he suck your dick, he'll take it in the ass, too. And the last one, Jamie, how big is your dick exactly? Thank you guys for coming out. Let's take a round of drinking beer.
Thanks, guys, for coming out.
Oh, man.
Let's drink some beers and have some fun.